Chapter 5. Munger took me to Ophelia's old base of operations, the Web. It had been completely redone, and not a speck of the old establishment remained. Inside, it could have been mistaken for fine dining. We ascended to the second floor, and Munger led me to an office on the side, where Ophelia waited. Her eyes lit up at the sight of me.
You actually found one.
She clasped her clawed hands together in delight.
One of the more important ones, too.
Munger stiffened beside me.
As you commanded, my lady.
Ophelia rounded her desk and dragged a finger across my cheek.
I was so disappointed when your little group disappeared. It took ages for me to find Chief using Archimeus, and by the time we did, he'd already severed his forging to the rest of you.
My stomach sunk. She'd gotten to Chief after all. Her claw trailed down my neck and came to a rest in the center of my chest.
Where are the rest of you?
Dead. She barked to laugh.
For above, sitter. You didn't travel all this way to tell me that lie.
It's no lie. I told her the story exactly as I'd told it to Munger. Her subordinates had more decorum. Horsemen living in the wilderness on scraps and stringy meat interrupted less and paid more attention. She lounged, she yawned, she scoffed, everything an upstart, young, impertinent ruler would do. Not much got under my skin. Flippancy like hers did. It was clear I'd been speaking to deaf ears by the time I'd finished.
That's an amazing story.
Ophelia flexed her fingers to examine her claws. She'd moved behind her desk the moment I'd started talking.
Now, where are your friends actually?
It is as I said. Ophelia's smile dropped. She leaned in her chair and sneered.
You're not talking to the lowly slave dealer anymore, sitter. You're talking to the Duchess of the land, the new ruler.
Yep. It would have been wiser to say nothing at all, but she'd irked me. Dangling like a holiday ornament seemed an inevitability at this point. She idly traced a circle on the desk with her finger.
This is the problem with bandits. None of you have any respect.
I suspect there are other problems with bandits beside that. She stood.
There are no witnesses to your claim. I am the authority of the land. As such, I declare you in confederation with the still very much alive Wanderlax, and sentence you to death.
She slammed her hand down on the desk. I assume it was supposed to be dramatic, but the slap came off weak. Munger stepped forward. I readied myself for him to drag me out of the room. At least I knew what awaited me. I'd been given a few extra months, and I'd been spared from that creature in the mountains. I could be nothing but grateful. I'd still failed. I could only hope for the best now.
Your ladyship,
Munger said.
If I may.
Ophelia's lip twitched.
What is it, Captain?
I would remind you the Fiellians do not want bodies. They want the Wanderlax alive. My men and I are the ones who captured Sitter. It falls to us to find the rest of the Wanderlax. If Sitter is telling the truth, there will be nothing left of them to find. Why not stay your hand in judgment until we can confirm the veracity of his story?
I looked at Munger sharply. He must not go to the valley. But I could say nothing. That would cause suspicion. Ophelia's lips drew back across her teeth in a sneer.
A corpse will do for the Fiellians. Besides, he's a murderer. Aren't you eager to see justice done to one of his kind?
I am, but let me be clear. You are every bit as filthy as he. He procured wares, and you bought them,"
Munger said.
"If justice existed, it would claim you both."
Get to the point, Munger.
A normal duchess would have killed a captain for speaking out against her like that. It was clear Munger did not answer to Ophelia. He answered to the Fiellians. They'd put him in his place to rein her in and correct her when needed. That surprised me. Did they somehow suspect his true nature?
"A single execution will not stay the hand of the Fiellians. They will expect results, and they will want proof. If we can confirm that the other Wonderlacks are dead, you will no longer need to expend resources searching for them."
Munger jerked a thumb at me.
"The Fiellians won't return for another year. Why not keep him alive until then? If the other Wonderlacks live, we can find them within that time. If they're dead, you can hang him for the Fiellians to see."
Ophelia's lip curled back.
What am I going to do with him until they arrive?
Munger looked at me.
"Make him a slave."
Poetic. It was no less than I deserved.
What's in it for you?
Ophelia folded her arms.
Why ask for his life to be spared?
"I care about the people. I can't risk you mucking up negotiations with our new rulers. This is the best way to sate the Fiellians."
I'd spent so much time surrounded by evil and filth, I'd forgotten what valor really looked like. I would have given him a nod of respect, but the admiration of a slaver was not something sought for. He would be better off without it. Ophelia's eyes lit like a fire. It was clear she didn't like the way Munger spoke to her, but there was little she could do to correct his attitude.
Fine, I'll keep him. Take him downstairs. You will go search those mountains for that valley immediately.
"As you wish."
Munger bowed. He didn't stick around to wait for more snide remarks and pulled me out of the office. Smart man. "I would run," I said as we descended the stairs. I had to be careful not to plead. That thing will kill you.
"I have my honor to think about. If I disobey a direct order from the lady I am sworn to serve, my life will be forfeit."
A life forfeit of honor is still a life. I thought about offering to show him the scene of carnage that awaited him. As a memorist, I could not only read other people's memories, I could share them as well.
"A bandit wouldn't understand. I'll just have to hope the beast isn't there when I go looking."
We stopped in front of the kitchen door. I could hear banging pots and pans inside.
"You'll be working here."
I paled. In the kitchen? With the women? Munger slapped me on the back and gave me a pitying glance.
"Look at the positive. They might kill you before the Fiellians ever come close. I'm sure a few of them would be more than happy to wrap their hands around your neck. After all, most of them are here because of you."
I shot him a look. This was worse than I'd imagined. I summoned my Imperia and leaned in. Munger stepped back, alarmed, but he wasn't fast enough, and my forehead touched his. With my hands bound, it was the only way to get skin-on-skin contact. Memories rushed from my mind, a map leading to the valley, transferred to Munger, with extra potency to keep it from fading. The sight of the dead bandits in the castle, the awareness of the strange beast that had killed them. I would have shared the vision I'd had in the mountain cave, but for some reason it wouldn't move from my mind to his. The faster he arrived and returned, the more likely he would survive. All he needed to do was avoid the beast. I was tempted to show him more, but refrained. There could be no hint, no trace. Munger stumbled away.
"What in the four was that?"
"A going-away present," I grimaced. "Hurry back." His shock turned to worry. He mumbled something I couldn't hear before shoving me through the kitchen doors. 4 pairs of eyes turned to look at me and hardened almost immediately. I recognized all of them. "Hello, ladies." It was best I come out strong and exude confidence. One of them grabbed a knife. They surged forward, probably to kill me. Munga intervened. I saw a taste of how skilled a warrior he was. Fending off 4 crazed women intent on killing a defenseless prisoner was no easy feat. It took several minutes to calm them all down.
You better have a good explanation for this,
Patsy, the largest and oldest of the group, said. We'd taken her from a smaller village nearly 5 years ago. I was surprised she hadn't paid down her debt. Her extra girth hinted she might have spent her extra money on sweets. "He's been sold," Munga said, with a hand stretched toward her, like he was calming a wild animal. "He's a slave." Meredith snorted. She was from a wandering circus troupe. A scar started at the top of her temple and ran down the bridge of her nose before crossing her lips. Lookout had been the one to give that to her when she'd struggled against him. That had been the moment the Wonderlax had instituted a rule to prevent damaging merchandise.
We don't want him here.
"It's too bad. The 4 of you have been complaining about too much work. He's who we can spare."
This is inhumane. Forcing him in here with us?
Catelyn waved a dangerous-looking ladle. She was the youngest of the women at 15. It was hard to look at her. She'd been gathering medicinal herbs in a field close to the undulates when we'd nabbed her. She'd been a favourite of the group until we'd sold her 3 years ago.
Captain Munger, please don't make us work with him.
"I wouldn't if I didn't have to," Munga said. "But this is where Ophelia wants him. I don't have the authority to demand he be sent somewhere else."
More arguing ensued. My eyes drifted to Sundew, the last of the 4. The knife in her hand remained perfectly still as she met my eyes. Those awful, piercing eyes. Why did they strike me so? "Where are your mother and sister?" I cut through the noise. The arguing died down. The women looked to Sundew and Munga looked at me. Sundew didn't so much as flinch.
They were killed when the Faelians arrived.
Curious, how had that happened? Domestic slaves were considered untouchable by a Faelian invading force. It would be a waste to kill free labor. "I'm sorry to hear that,"
No, you're not.
Sundew said. She pointed the knife at me.
You don't have a speck of decency in your soul. There's nothing but a starless abyss.
She stabbed the knife into the kitchen counter. It cut through the wood and stood on its point. She ripped off her apron, stalked from the room, and slammed the door behind her. Munga cleared his throat.
"I need you women to promise me you won't hurt him. Not until I come back."
They hemmed and hawed. They offered up all kinds of reasons why they should be allowed to maim, if not kill me. Some sounded reasonable, and I found myself agreeing. Munga put a stop to them anyway.
"He's here. Deal with it. Work him to the bone in a remote corner of the manor if you need to, but leave him untouched and alive."
Finally, they relented. Munga left. Patsy pulled the knife out of the counter and cut my bonds. I was surprised she didn't try to take a finger. "Where do you want me?" Patsy pointed the knife at my chest.
Don't get cute with us. Don't speak either. You're going to work, you're going to eat, and you're going to sleep.
"What about breathing?" She turned purple. Meredith stepped in.
Follow me. Ophelia's outhouse needs to be cleaned.
She led me out of the kitchen. The smell assailed me the moment we stepped out the back door. Ophelia had erected a small wooden square that could hardly be called an outhouse. Instead of a hole in the ground, feces had simply piled up inside and now spilled out the front and the cracks. Meredith gestured to the outhouse with a wicked grin.
Here you are.
Where does she want it? I asked.
Not here. Figure out something to do with it.
I grimaced.
I will let you stab me in the back with that knife.
Meredith only laughed and returned inside. I stared at the outhouse. I had no shovel to work with, and I doubted the women would show me where to get one. I was tempted to ask Ophelia, but that would cause more trouble than it was worth. I had no other recourse. I stepped into the outhouse and plunged my hands in.